administration invests 2.5 trillion in infrastructure. Department of State Services apprehend notorious crime syndicate. Stakeholders advocate for more involvement of women in science and technology. Welcome to the news on Our Art This Time on Television Nigerian. I am Cynthia Agbo. The President Muhammadu Buhari administration has invested 2.5 trillion naira in infrastructure since coming into power in 2015. Minister of Finance Mrs. Kemi Adeosun disclosed in an interview over the weekend that the overall focus of the administration has been on massive investment in infrastructure to grow the economy. She further revealed that the administration have pumped in over 2.5 trillion in infrastructure, especially on capital projects between 2015 and 2017, out of which 304 billion naira was invested on roads. Adeosun further revealed that the petroleum product subsidy, for which oil marketers had been clamoring, was part of the debt inherited from the last administration, which the present administration has been negotiating with the concerned parties. The people of Anambra State, southeast Nigeria, went to the polls on the 18th of November 2017 to reflect the state governor in what has so far been described as the most contested and keenly monitored elections in Nigeria.
The governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, has begun a second term in office after emerging the winner of a hotly contested governorship election in November 18, 2017. The Chief Judge of the state, Justice Peter Umedi, swore in the governor and his deputy at the Alex Ekweme Square in Awka.
Willie Mado Abrojuku Obiano, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful, and bear true allegiance.
In his acceptance speech, Governor Obiano called for partnership in building a new Anambra.
We shall work together, dream together, and create new narratives with happy endings for ourselves.
The people say it is a new dawn.
Obiano is new dawn and is a continuation of new dawn.
We have had a couple of people run the state. Nobody, repeat, has recorded progress like Obiano.
Highlights of the events include mounting of theirs and inspection of the parade by the police.
The Department of State Services, DSS, has announced the arrest of key members of a kidnap, gun running, and armed banditry syndicate operating across the state of Plateau, Nasarawa, Taraba, and Benue. Notorious gun runner Jonah Abe, aka Jonah Idi, alongside his driver Agoy Savior, aka Dan Wase, was apprehended by the tactical team of the DSS. Abe was said to have been on the wanted list of the service for the last 10 years over arms and ammunition trade and was reputed to be servicing criminal groups in Bayelsa, Ebonyi, Rivers, Imo, Anambra, Plateau, Nasarawa, Benue, and Taraba Axis. Recent intelligence indicates that Abe moved arms and ammunition from Konduga in Borno State into Taraba State through his driver, while he sources arms from the Republic of Cameroon and parts of the northeast of Nigeria. After the break, advocacy for more involvement of women in science and technology. Thanks for staying tuned. Stakeholders in the education sector have decried the low involvement of women in the fields of science and technology. A conference was recently organized in Nigeria with the aim of changing the status quo. TVN Bennett Joshua reports.
Women have for decades shied away from science and technology-related endeavors. The situation accounts for the high number of men and indeed boys in this area of knowledge. This issue, among others, explains why women in technical education and employment, drawn from polytechnics nationwide, converge in Nekede, Imo State. Their concern is to address the situation by creating an opportunity for the girl child to meet the demands of time.
So our third objective is to provide a platform whereby the girl child will be trained appropriately to be able to meet the challenges of the workplace.
So many women are out there contributing their own part to the society. So don't just be that girl that sits and expects everything to fall on her lap.
The rector of the Federal Polytechnic, Nekede, Dr. Sele Njoko, called on women to work towards realizing the goals of the conference.
You have to catch them young. Build self-confidence in that girl. Start exposing her to challenges so that she will now fight her cause.
The conference tagged science, technology, entrepreneurship, and women employment and sustainable development, the new paradigm. Featured paper presentation and recognition of women who have excelled in their areas of work. From Abuja, Bennett Joshua, TVN News.
Moving on to sports, Nigeria's representative at this year's Confederation of African Football CAF Champions League, Plateau United, was over the weekend eliminated from the tournament. TVN Bennett Joshua brings you more on the sports bulletin.
Plateau United has been knocked out of this year's CAF Champions League. Despite her 1-0 second leg win, the team was shown the way out after a 3-4 aggregate loss to Etoile du Sahel of Tunisia. Plateau United had earlier succumbed to a 2-4 first leg deficit in Tunis. And in the week 13 fixtures of the 2018 Nigerian Professional League, Nasarawa United walloped Lobsters 2-1 as Katsina United trashed Heartland of Owerri 1-0. Abia Warriors trashed Wiki Tourists of Bauchi 2-0. The day did not go as planned for Yobe Stars as they suffered a devastating 2-1 in the hands of Sunshine Stars of Akure. El Kanemi Warriors of Borno beat Ifeanyi Uba Football Club 1-0. In the English FA Cup, Southampton secured a semi-final spot from a 2-0 away win against Wigan Athletics to join Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United in the last four.
And to the foreign scene, the United Kingdom and the European Union have agreed on a large part of a treaty that will lead to the orderly withdrawal of the United Kingdom from the Union. Brexit negotiators Michael Barney and David Davis said the deal on what the UK calls the implementation period was a decisive step. The transitional period is set to last from 29th March 2019 to December 2020 and is intended to smooth the path of a further permanent relationship. According to the negotiator, there was also an agreement on the right of 4.5 million EU citizens in the UK and 1.2 million UK citizens in the EU after Brexit, including giving EU citizens arriving in the UK during the transition the same rights and guarantees as those who arrived before Brexit. To end the news, a recap of the major stories. Buhari administration invests 2.5 trillion in infrastructure. Department of State Services apprehend notorious crime syndicate. Stakeholders advocate for more involvement of women in science and technology. That's the news at this hour, but before we go, I leave you with this thought. Many of life's failure are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thanks for staying tuned. I am Cynthia Agbo. Do you have yourself a wonderful night?